let's get into it. Imagine that presented by Xfinity. Paint us a picture of like Jim Phillips would be the ACC commissioner, sitting in a dark room in ACC headquarters, like listening to emo music because this thing went so badly. What is it? What has to happen for the ACC to not make the college football playoff?
Well, it would start with Duke beating Virginia this weekend. And then, they have UNC and Wake, and they go to the ACC championship and actually win it. So you're looking at a 9-4 football team who potentially would be behind the American champ and behind potentially a JMU out of the Sun Belt or whatever the case is. And now you're like, okay, does the ACC actually get in? Like, I don't think people understand that the Power Four conferences don't have to be in this thing. It usually works out that they will be because they have the better teams with the better rosters and the better resources and the better, not even the better coaches, but the more highly paid coaches, maybe proven.
And the metrics are going to favor them because they will be
100%.
power conference schedules. Yes.
100%. But this is a scenario where, like, I could look at Duke. If they win the ACC, like, they still might be behind 2 group of 5 teams in the rankings, which is really chaotic. And then you start to ask the question, can they not get an AQ, but Miami gets in there as an at-large? If they're sitting there as a 10-2 team, and they're number 15 right now in the rankings, and teams in front of them still lose, and they make it into the top 10, is that the cut line? Because you'd have to put the 2 other conference champs in there. You would assume that if everything's chalky on conference championship weekend, that the 3 power conference teams that actually do get the auto bids, like, is Miami in there at 10, and 10's the cut line for an at-large, right? Like that to me is the full chaos scenario.
That is a full chaos scenario. Great point. Right. Because it will be 10 because 11 will be the 4th highest ranked conference champion. And then the 5th will be at 12 if they're not in the top 12. So that's a really good point. I like this chaos theory. And let me throw in one more piece to it. Let's say Tulane wins the American. So then you have a head-to-head result as well with Tulane and Duke.
It's amazing. I mean, this is, for all the things I don't like about the 12-team playoff, like, I want this to happen. I want as much chaos as we can get. Give me every nasty scenario you can think of, put it in there, and then make people have to make decisions and defend in the whole deal.
Well, we say this all the time, but, because these conferences are so big, you don't have like the head-to-head results that you actually need. Like, people are playing different schedules even within the same conference. And it makes all of this stuff really complicated. It's all while the tiebreakers are insane and super complicated for the ACC and the Big 12. But even in the bigger, like the Big 10 is 18 teams. This is why Oregon got named the Big 10 champion on a Tuesday. You have to like go through all of these different like permutations and spreadsheets. And it's crazy. And so you are going to be in these situations where you're at the mercy of some of these crazy outside forces making decisions for you. It's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out for the ACC in the group of 5. You said you like chaos. Let me give you repeat chaos. And I don't know if it's not necessarily knock a team out of the playoff like it did last year. But imagine that Ole Miss has trouble with Florida again. We all know what happened last year. 3rd loss of the year. It knocked Ole Miss out of the playoff. It was a shocker. It was one of the wins that helped Billy Napier keep his job for a little bit longer, another off season. Now, this one I think would be even more shocking if it happens, or at least if they keep it close. Because again, maybe they'll just be annoying enough that we're going to end up having to watch Ole Miss Florida. This is a team that was basically lifeless a week ago when they lost to Kentucky. They benched DJ Lagway again. But like, this is still also a Florida team that kind of out of the blue beat Texas. This is a Florida team that still has talent on the defensive side of the ball. I know DJ Lagway is a problem, and apparently he still might start this game. He leads FBS with 12 interceptions.
I feel bad for DJ Lagway.
I do too. No, he is not. And if not, he has gotten worse. And we'll probably see the backup true freshman Tramel Jones Jr. as well, who, by the way, like, it's not like he did anything that was particularly better than DJ Lagway did at Florida. But I'm just saying, Lane Kiffin does this. There's like an inexplicable result they will sometimes just lose lose to teams that they shouldn't, that they're more talented than, that if they just played their game, they'll beat. And there's a Florida team that, we're not sure if they've given up on their season. We'll find out. We'll find out really soon if they are. But they rolled over last week. It would be the most unpredictable, but also college football thing if suddenly they're neck and neck against Ole Miss, who we penciled into the playoff in the fourth quarter.
You want another piece for this chaos scenario?
Yes.
If you're Florida or one of the many schools looking for a coach, but Florida in particular, and you take it to Ole Miss, how am I supposed to feel about that? Like, do I want the lane train? Yeah, like I 2 years in a row. Why would I hire you?
It's also a good point of distractions and dynamics and things that could play into this game. So
it's weird.
That was Imagine That presented by Xfinity.